Right. So question number 14 then. Right. So this question. So this question basically gives you an fx. So 14a. So they give a fx. Fx is given by x minus 3 squared x squared minus 1. Correct, no? So then they are saying x is not equal to plus or minus 1. Right? So they are saying us to get they are saying show that f dash x, the derivative of fx is given by f dash x, the given state. Right? So they want us to show that f dash x is basically equal to 2x minus 3, 3x minus 1, right? 3x minus 1, x squared minus 1 square. So I just rewrote their requirement out. So let's try to get this answer, right? So f dash x is 1. So x squared minus 1 squared, right? Then I get this part here, x squared minus 1. Then I differentiate this part, that is 2 times x minus 3. If I differentiate this part inside, there's going to be 1. So that is of course not needed. Minus. Then I get this part here, x minus 3 squared. Then I differentiate this part, that is 2x. Correct, no? Right? So then I need to basically simplify now. So I need I need x minus 3 as well. So I'm going to take that. So I have x minus 3 and 2 here, 2 here and x minus 3 here. So what I'm going to do is, I see in the answer the 2 and x minus 3 is in there, so I'm going to take that out. So if I take that out, 2x minus 3, I will get x squared minus 1 minus, so there's a remaining x minus 3 here, because this is x minus 3 squared, and there's a x remaining as well, over x squared minus 1. So this part is anyway there. So basically this part is there of the answer now. So I need to simplify this and get the rest of the answer. Correct, no? So then I will get 2x minus 3, x squared minus 1 squared. So this is going to be x squared minus 1 minus, so it is going to be x squared. Then x is going to be plus 3x. Correct, no? Minus into minus is going to be plus, plus into x is going to be minus plus 3x. So I will get, so I can actually cut these off here. So I will get 3x minus 1. So I got the answer now. 2 times x minus 3, 3x minus 1, x squared minus 1 squared. So this is the answer that they are asking us to show. Correct, no? So that's done. Right. So then they are asking. So if I read the rest of the question down, they are saying write down the equation of the asymptotes of y equals fx. Right. So what they are basically asking is the horizontal asymptotes here. Y equals fx. Then so then they are saying find the coordinates of the point at which the horizontal asymptote intersects the curve y equals fx. Okay. Then sketch the graph of y equals fx indicating the asymptotes and the turning point. Right now, so this is basically a graph question. Only addition is they have specifically asked the horizontal asymptote and that what you call a intersect point of the horizontal asymptote with the curve that we are going to draw. So that is the only exception of this. There's nothing else, right? So let's do it in the normal way. So first of all, as they are asking about this horizontal asymptote, so let's sort of change our way of the sequence of getting the answer. So let's start with the limit now. So because they are asking about the horizontal asymptote, right? So or else what you do, you sort of get the limit as the last step. No? So that is no hard and fast rule, but that's how we did in the past papers. Right. So right. So now let's get the horizontal asymptote. Right. So before that, you can get the vertical asymptote straight away. Right. So what is the vertical asymptote? Vertical asymptotes will be what? Will be here x squared equals 1 is not equal to 0, right? So basically the vertical asymptotes are x equals 1 and x equals minus 1. So actually they have given it, right? So these are the vertical asymptotes. So now what they are asking is y equals asymptotes of y equals fx. So that means so these included, and then you will find the horizontal asymptote as well. So to get the horizontal asymptote, we need to take the limits. So limit when x goes to infinity fx, limit when x goes to infinity x minus 3 squared x squared minus 1. So I will get, so I'm going to take x squared out. X squared out, 1 minus 3 over x squared, x squared out, 1 minus 1 over x squared. Correct now? So I can actually cut these off here. Then I will get what? 1 minus 0, 1 minus 0, that is 1. So basically now what? So now this graph at the what do you call the most furthest or the end point, it will converge to 1, right? So that means this y equals 1 is an asymptote, is the horizontal asymptote. Correct now? Right? So that is one of the things they are asked. Right. Okay, so what are they asking next? So we have found the asymptote. Then they are saying find the coordinates of the point at which the horizontal asymptote intersects the curve of y equals fx. Right now? So now you know the corresponding y value. So you know the y value. So now you need to find the x value. So now just what do you have to do? So now y equals fx now, right? So y is equal to 1. So you need to get the corresponding x value, right? So just multiply and see. So I'm going to expand this x squared plus 9 minus 6x. So I'm going to cut these off. Then I will get what? x is equal to 10, x equals 5 over 3. So the so the intersection point, so the the intersection point will be 5, 3, 1. Correct, no? Right? So, yeah. Alright, so now they are asking us to sketch the graph of y equals fs indicating the asymptotes and the turning points. Right, no? Right, so to draw the graph, we need the turning points, right? We need the turning points. Now we know the asymptotes as well. Now we know what happens at the limits as well. So what we actually need to do is to get the turning points and also get the value for x equals 0. Then we are done, right? Then we can draw the graph. So let's see now. So now what I'm going to do is turning points. Right, so I'm going to get the turning point. That means what? F dash x equals 0. Correct, no? So here I get 2 times x minus 3. 2 times x minus 3, 3x minus 1. X squared minus 1 squared equals 0. Right? So now this is not equal. So now this part is not equal to 0. So I can actually multiply. So I'll get x minus 3, 3x minus 1 equals 0. So even 2 you can divide. So I will get x equals 3 and x equals 1 over 3. Right now? So these are the basic turning points. Right? So now so that is also done. Right? You can actually find the corresponding the y value now here. Right? So for the turning points, so F3 is going to be what? So F3 is going to be 0, right? 3 minus 3 squared, 3 squared minus 1 is going to be 0. So 3, 0 is a point. Okay? Then if you take F1 over 3, you will get 1 over 3 minus 3 squared, 1 over 3 squared minus 1. Correct? Right now? Then I will get, what will I get now? So I am going to take 1 over 3, so I will get 1 minus 9 into 3 squared here, that is here. Then I will get what? 1 over 9 minus 9 3 squared. No, not, yeah, 3 squared here. Correct, I just simplify this down. Right? Then I will get what? So then I can cut these off. Right? Then I can, then this is minus 8 squared, these 8, so that is going to be what? So minus 8 minus, that's going to be minus 8. Right now? Okay, so another point is what? So another point is 1, 3, minus 8. Right? So now we know the turning points as well. But so there are 2 more things that we need to do. That is to determine the shape. No? That is the most important thing. We need to determine the shape. We need to determine the value of x equals 0. That might not be very useful, but we have to do that as well. Right? So write this down for the moment. Right. So now let's determine the shape of this graph. Right. Right. So now I'm going to draw this down. So what was the first asymptote? That was x equals -1. Right now, so I got that. Then what was the turning points? 1 over 3 and 3, no? So 1 over 3 and 1, 1 over 3 and 3. So x equals 1 over 3 is here, x equals 3 is here. Then I have another asymptote as what? X equals 1. So I'm going to sort of draw the asymptotes here. Right now, so now we need to evaluate this now. Correct? So how to evaluate now? We have to consider what dy over dx now. So here, this is not dy is, or here it was f dash. Correct now? So now here let's see now. So now forget about this thing, huh? Because x squared minus 1 squared is anyway going to be what? Anyway it's going to be positive, no? Right? So now let's put a value which is less than -1. So let's put like something like -2. So even 2 is not that relevant here. So if I take this, if I take -1, if I do it like something like -2, this is going to be minus. This is also going to be -2. Correct? There is going to be minus into minus. So the below part is anyway positive. So I'm not even considering that. So this part is going to be positive. Correct? No? Right? Understood? So that means it goes like this. So the graph goes like this. No? Right? Then what? Then let's put something like something in between here. Like let's put something like 0 here. Right? Because -1 and 1 over 3 is between, so 0 is in between. So if I put 0 here, what will I get? So again minus, this is again going to be minus. So this is going to be again plus. So again this will be like this. So at x equals 1 over 3 is going to be 0. Then let's put something in between which is less than 1. So like 0.5. So that is going to be what? So if I put 0.5, we are going to get minus here. But here it's going to be positive. So this is going to be minus. Right? So the gradient is going to be minus. That means goes like this. Correct? No? Right? So let's put something like 2 here. That is going to be here going to be minus plus. So it is going to be minus. So again it's going to be minus. Correct? No? Right? Right? No? So then I know that x, because x equals 3 is the turning point, it's going to be 0. Then more than x equals 3, what is that? So that's going to be this is going to be what? Positive and positive. So the whole thing is going to be positive. So I will get something like this. Correct now? So now I have basically found out the shape of the graph. Right now? So then the other thing, so now I know all the points. So the only thing that is remaining is to find what is the corresponding value when x equals 0. No? So at x equals 0, f0. That means what? 0 minus 3 squared, 0 minus 1. So that is what? This is going to be minus 3 squared is going to be 9, minus 1 is going to be minus 1. Right now? So now basically 0 minus 9 is also a point. Correct, no? Right, so now we have found all the stuff that we need to draw the graph. Right? Okay. Okay, so we need to draw the graph now. So let me sort of summarize the findings that we have got so I can draw the graph easily. So basically what we got was, so we got the points as we got 5, 3, 1 point. Then we got 1 over 3 minus 8, 3, 0, 0 minus 9. So right, so this was these two were these two were turning points. This was the asymptote crossing point. This was the 0 point. Then we know the asymptote as y equals 1, x equals 1 and x equals minus 1. Right, so we found these. So then I found the shape of this as this is minus 1, 1 over 3, 1, 3. So I got here, 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 here. Then I got here, here. Right. So I'm basically good to go to draw the graph now. Right. So let's draw the graph. Right. So I'm going to take y, x. Right. So I have this thing called y equals 1. This is y equals 1 asymptote, x equals minus 1 asymptote, x equals 1 asymptote. Right? So that is done. So then when x equals 1, the corresponding corresponding y value is 5 over 3. So 5. No, sorry. What was that? No. The value is going to be 5 over 3 here. So this is going to cut this point. 5 over 3, 1. Correct, no? Right, no? Then I have 1 over, then I have what? Then I have 1 over 3 minus 8. So what is that? 1 over 3 minus 8 is the lowest point. I'll put minus 8 here. That is sort of it is not a lowest point, it's one of the points here, right? So here is going to be 1 over 3 minus 8. Then I have 3, 0. So there's a 3 here. So 3, 0 is this point. Then I have 0 minus 9. This point is there, so that is 0 minus 9. Right, so now we know all the points. So now it's a case of drawing it. So I know that at the far ends, at the infinity, the value of the graph is what? Y equals 1. Right? No? So it starts from here, and I know that, so it is increasing. Okay, so let's draw the increasing. Right, so it's increasing up to x equals minus 1. Then I have this from So then I have a maximum point at x equals 1 over 3. At here there is a maximum point, right? So if I draw this down, right? So x equals 1 over 3 is here. Here is going to be a maximum point, and the curve is going to be like this, no? So it goes through this. So it comes like this, no? Right, no? So because it has a curve like this, so after here it's going to be it's going to decrease. So right. So then at x equals 3, right? So at x equals 3, there's a lowest point here, right? Right, no? So now it starts from up. So it comes down to so it goes to this point, and then it ends at what? The infinity point ends at what? Y equals a, no? Sorry, y equals 1, no? Correct? So here this will start and sort of end here. You have to sort of draw the graph nicely. Will sort of end here. Right, so this is the graph. Right, so then we have sort of done with the graph. Right? Right, so part B. Right, so what does part B say? So they say a thin metal container in the shape of a right circular cylinder of radius 5 rcm and the height of hcm and circular lid of a radius 5 circular 5r with a circular hole of rcm. Right, so they have given this thing. This is 5r, this is h, there is a hole here which has a radius of r, right? So this is what we have. Okay, then they are saying the volume of the container will be 245.5, right? So the volume is 245.5, right? Now, so then they are asking to show the surface area of the container with the lid containing the hole is the given equation. Right. So they are asking us to find what is S, no? So they are giving S as what? So they are giving S as 49.5 r squared to r. Right, so this is what we need to find. Correct, no? So let's see now. So I'm going to get the help of this volume, right? So how can you write the volume here now? So the volume is what? Volume is going to be what? 5, the r square of this, that means r is 5r squared into h, no? Correct, no? Right? So this is equal to 245.5. Correct? So then I will get phi 25 r squared h equals 245 phi. So what I'm going to do here is what? I'm going to cut this phi out. So then I'm going to substitute h. Then I will get what? So 245 over 25. So I can actually divide this by 5. It is going to be 5. This is going to be what? 4, 9. So that is going to be 49 5r. Right, so I got this. So now I need to find the s. So write this down. Right, so that is done. So now we need to find s now. So let's find s and c. Right? Okay. So now so I have got h as this, so I'm going to write this down here. H as 49 5r square. So let's find s now. So what is s? S will be, so s is basically the surface area containing the hole as well, no? Right? So basically, what is the whole surface area of this? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the whole surface area and reduce this what do you call this, lid or something, no? There's a circular hole. So I'm going to reduce the whole area as well. Right? So what is the total area now? The total area is going to be so there are going to be two circular ones, that is 5r squared, right, into 2, right. Then the cylindrical area is going to be 2 phi r is going to be 5r into h. Then I have to reduce this area minus 5r square. Clear now? Right? So then I will get what? I will get, so here 25 to 2 is going to be 50 phi r square. This is going to be 2 into 5 is going to be 10 plus 10 phi r h minus phi r square. Correct? No? So then I will get 49 phi r square plus 10 phi r h. So for h I am going to substitute this, because in the answer of the s, h is not there, so I am going to substitute this. 49 phi r square plus 10 phi r, h is going to be 49 phi r square. So what I can do is I can cut one of these r out. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 49 phi out, because that is common. 49 phi is common. So I'm going to take 45 phi out. 49 phi out. So I'll get r square plus wait. I can cut this off as well. 2 will be 2. 2 over, right? So have we got the answer there? So we have got the answer. This is S. This is S that they are asking, right? Right. So now we need to get what? So what are they asking next? Find the value of R. Right? Find the value of R such that S is minimum. So let's find the corresponding value of R where S is minimum. Right? So I don't need this now. So now this is R S no. So this is basically function of R no. R is basically 49.5 R square plus 2 over R. Correct? Right. Okay. So now, so then what? So in order to get the maximum or a minimum of this function, to get maximum or minimum of SR, we need to take DSR over DR and equal it to 0. Correct no? So let's find DSR now. DSR over DR is going to be 49.5 2R minus what? 2R square. Right now, so if I this differentiation is okay, then what? So basically we need to equate this to 0. Correct? So that is what? That means 2R, so 49.5 is a constant, that is irrelevant here now. 2R square equals 0. Right? Then I am going to take 2 is also out, so R cube minus 1 R square equals 0. Right? So R is not equal to 0, no? That is for sure, no? Now, they have even given that. They have given that R equals greater than 0. Right? So the only thing remaining is this, no? R cube minus 1 equals 0. Right? So then I can get now R3 minus 1 equals 0. R3 equals what? 1. Right? So now R can be, this can be, so the only answer for R can be then 1. Right? So now, right, so you have actually got the answer now. But just show, as I said, this is like a dummy move. It is just better to show that here is R equals 0, R equals 1. Right? It's better to show that you will get a minimum at R equals 1. So if I evaluate DSR over DR, right? What I need to show is that when R equals 1, you get a minimum. No? So now if you actually evaluate now, if you put something like 0.5 here, right? So 0.5 here. If you put it here now, let's see 0.5 into cube minus 1 over R square. So this point will be what you call anyway minus. So it is going to be like this here. Then when it's greater than R equals 1, it's going to be positive. So just show like this, right? Just show like, so this is anyway true, but just show like this, right? It won't take you much time then. So then you can write. So after this, just write this down. At R equals 1, R is minimum. So this is basically the answer. So R equals 1 cm. So then you are done with the question, right?